On this episode of the podcast, we have Nathan Baker, Vanessa's guitar teacher. And this podcast is brought to you by Family Seed, hemp seeds. Put it on everything! Everything! Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below to not miss a video.
Nathan, thank you for doing this. Really appreciate it. The format of the show is to highlight Vanessa and Summer's teachers, the people who inspire us and who are giving them tools, not only how to be strong, creative women, but how to live their lives. And you being a teacher, we want to be part of that. We want you to be part of us. So why don't you introduce the 3 or 4 people who are watching this, and introduce yourself, give your name and your schooling and your employment. We'll start there.
Sure. Yeah. My name is Nathan Baker, like Summer already mentioned, and I've been a musician for a long time. My dad played piano and drums, and so I grew up hearing him play. One of my first memories was sitting on one of the big concert bass drums that you hear in an orchestra, and he had it tipped up so I could sit on top, and he was banging away on it. So I don't know how old I would have been, but I was pretty young to have music all around, and went on to have piano lessons and bass lessons, and went to school for music in Missoula, and then since then just been playing music. I was in a bluegrass band for a long time that did some fun stuff. Really like to play jazz. Upright bass player, so that's kind of my thing.
That's next for Summer. Keep going. I'm sorry. That's next for Summer.
All right. And so since moving to Sandpoint, been really happy with the community in terms of really for the first time in my life being able to make a living as a musician, as a teacher of music and a player of music. I really didn't think that was possible, especially in a small town like Sandpoint, but here we are, and it's been pretty great.
Well, what's not that we're looking for formalities necessarily. If you're great, you're great. Like what's her name? The Lady of Creations. What's her name? Sherry Makings did our podcast, and we took a part of her. Strong business lady, wants good for the community. But what is your degree? What are you?
I have a degree in fine arts with an emphasis in music.
Oh, Okay, that would make sense.
Yeah.
And you obviously, I guess obviously, you like teaching kids, is that correct?
Yeah.
Do you have any adult students?
I do. I've had quite a few adult students, and electric bass seems to be the one that draws the most adult students that I've had. Also a couple of guitarists.
Okay.
And
That's the name of one of them?
right, and then guitar adult. I just had a couple of adult guitar students, but yeah, I have taught adults.
So did your dad do concerts? Was he a professional musician?
He's not a professional, but he was at that time. The memory that I mentioned, he would have been in a community band
Okay.
in the little town Stevensville, Montana that I grew up in.
How many people live there?
I'd say 1,500,
Oh, okay.
something like that.
Wonderful.
So we had a little community concert band, and he was a part of that when I was growing up. And then he plays piano for church and played drums in his high school jazz band and pep band and in college. And
Okay. And so besides playing here, we've seen your jazz band before. Do you guys remember seeing Nathan play jazz when we watched Bethany's first concert? What did you do growing up? Did you play for a church? Did you play outside for money? Did you just jam with your friends, do some band stuff?
some of all of that, yeah. Like I mentioned, I had piano lessons, so I played just like you guys are. Played for recitals and things like that. I remember my dad saying, "Are you nervous?" I'd say, "I don't know." He'd say, "Hold up your hand," and my hand would be going like this. He'd say, "Yeah, you're nervous. It's okay."
It's okay to be nervous. What do I say? If you're not nervous, you're not doing it right. If you're not scared, you're not pushing yourself. But that's why I have the girls do live performances now. We try to make it real fun. That's the first thing of everything, whether it's the martial arts, skateboarding, but music, it has to be fun. We try to make it real fun, or it's not necessarily worth doing. But yeah, it's good to hear that you're making money doing what you love. If you weren't doing this, let's say you weren't doing this, let's say like in reality, or I guess dream-wise, what would you like to be doing? Would you like to be touring with a band? Would you, or is this your dream exactly? Or besides this, what would you be doing?
Yeah, that's a good question. I was in a touring band, like I mentioned, the bluegrass band that I was in. We played quite a bit. We were kind of weekend warriors, so working a 40-hour work week, and then on the weekends going and playing music all weekend. And we did bar gigs, weddings, toured all over the Northwest. We went down to the South and played in Johnson City, Tennessee. Went to China and played over there at a folk festival. That was pretty.
International.
That was a trip.
China.
Yeah, we were all kind of surprised by that. So I got a pretty good taste of touring. The one when we went down to Tennessee was a 2-week tour, and that was plenty.
Well, so were you on a circuit, or were you just having whoever would take you?
We basically whoever would take us. We never got to the level that some of my friends from that band have since gotten to, where they're on a circuit, out for a month, 2 months at a time. We would more say get a gig in Babb, Montana for the weekend, drive up there.
Right.
We'd take like 4 Subarus up there with all our gear and fishing gear, music gear, everything, and play. We'd get a gig over in Portland or Seattle and drive over there for 2 or 3 days and play. So we, like I said, we're more weekend, but that was plenty.
Russ, don't minimize. Weekend warriors are tough because you have to get in this mind frame for 5 days a week, and then get in this for 2 days, and then get right back into it. You know
Monday was pretty rough.
Right. Yeah, it's hard. It's one of the teachers said it to me when he saw me lugging up a bunch of equipment a couple weeks ago. He said you get paid more for actually carrying the equipment than the actual art itself.
Right.
But carrying equipment's hard. Wow, I didn't know any of that stuff about you.
Yeah.
That's cool. That for me, that's more credential. All the stuff that you said is better than any degree that you can have. You know what I mean? The actual application of music, carrying equipment, But you came highly recommended from Bethany and Melody. They talked very highly of you when I mentioned your name as guitar teacher. And someone else said something about your name. But seeing you perform at the Canada across the street was what, when I put a couple things together, the name and the person, I was like, oh, that'd be a great guitar teacher. And, Vanessa's YouTube trained, but we need someone who's educated and educating. For me, it's more, let's watch a YouTube video, let's watch some old Jimi Hendrix clips, and see who we can find giving the best lesson online. But you don't get background stuff, you don't get technical, you don't get, oh, why don't you try it this way? Well, maybe for you this way is better. So, and just FYI, this next month, June, is Vanessa's been playing for a year, guitar.
June 14th.
Is it June 14th? How do you know that?
I remember what Mom said.
Okay, good, because I don't. Yeah, she's been playing for a year, and we're really excited with the progression. I'm really excited. How long does this semester last? Is it 3 months? Okay. She has grown exponentially. I didn't use that word right, but whatever. She has grown so much since you've gotten a hold of her. We really appreciate it. What's the song you guys did at the recital?
Alouette.
Right. Those songs are so simple, but they're classics, right? And I don't know them personally, but they're classics, and you guys jamming back and forth, having a different set of eyes on her progression, and seeing the bigger picture, what I want for her. We do have something in place for them, whether it's a YouTube channel. We do have a gig in Montana this weekend. We'll be taking our mushroom hunting equipment and maybe some shotguns. Just kidding.
It's an adventure.
But the gigging part. Normal, right? Well, not normal. That's what we do. But yeah, it's a partner festival, and they're going to be training everything you can imagine to clothes. We're going to bring some hemp seeds. What do you see? And I'm going to go at a teacher route. What do you see for Vanessa's her capabilities, and what's holding her back as a guitar player? Where do you see her strong points, and what do you think are her not necessarily weak points, but what we could do maybe better at home?
Lots of strong points. Vanessa is just a natural musician, as is Summer. Just great ears, great intonation, which means getting your instrument in tune or singing in tune. Great sense of rhythm.
That comes from her 3 years of drumming. Sorry.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Great drummer as well. Just a really natural musician, both of these girls are. And so, really just have been working with them. And one thing that we have worked with a bit in our lessons is, I don't want to say slowing down, because we're also trying to get faster, right? With things like the crab walk, we're turning up the metronome.
I heard that.
To go back to where we can do it cleanly and just have it solid, and then to move forward and go faster is something that all musicians have to work on, because maybe you can play most of the song pretty fast, but there's one little spot that you just can't quite do it at that speed, so you have to go and say, okay, this little spot, I'm going to take it slower, I'm going to get it perfect at this speed, and then I'm going to turn it up and go a little bit faster, and if I mess it up, then I go back to slow again, until I can play at the same speed as the rest of the song that I already have learned. And so that's something we've kind of worked on, is just playing nice and clean, and making sure we're not pushing it too fast.
Well, and that's what some of the greats that you see, like I said, I want Vanessa to be, and not necessarily career-wise, whatever she wants to do, What do you want to be when you grow up?
Oh my god.
A Lego artist. So what guitar has to do with it? I don't know. But
I still wanna play instruments.
yes, absolutely.
I
You
don't
want
wanna
to teach.
just do one thing.
Right.
Well
no.
rounded.
What you don't want to do one thing, that is so boring. It starts to feel like work. But no, that's what because you can go back on YouTube and stuff that you used to pay like $50 for like a VHS video or maybe a DVD costs, $20, $50 back in the day. Now it's free on YouTube if you know what to enter in. But some of that stuff is missed, and I don't think it's necessarily on purpose, but some of these masters like Lindsey Buckingham or Stevie Ray Vaughan or like Vanessa when we watch like the Andy Allendorf videos, they don't always bring it back to that slow. You know what I mean? They teach you the scale and they show you how fast they can do it. Or, even Lindsey Buckingham will have to correct himself and they'll play it real slow on this one particular YouTube video we've watched a million times. But they don't always say to go back slow. They don't show you. They have time enough to show you the riff, and then that's about it. But that's so important. So important. Doesn't March teach you to go slow at first? Like everyone wants to shred. You know what I mean? Everyone wants to do this, but they don't understand that it's been hours, weeks, months, years, and actually bringing it down to one note at a time, even with the crowd walk being a practice. But
That's one of the things I've noticed with my adult students. You asked me if I have adult students. They oftentimes want to come and they want me to just hand them, okay, now you can play.
hand them.
Now you can shred.
Right, you paid your tuition. Here you go.
Yeah, it's difficult, especially for adults, to understand the time commitment that's involved with learning how to play music.
Especially for adults. That's why, I learned probably that lesson that you did. I probably truly learned it at 30. And that was probably like about the birth of YouTube. When I saw, or even Google, you could kind of Google whatever you wanted. But you have to put that time and energy. I didn't really learn to finger pick as well as Vanessa did until about 5 years ago. I mean, Vanessa's already getting there with her speed and ability. I didn't start learning that until 5 years ago. It took me, it's Never Going Back Again by Lindsey Buckingham. It's just classic bluegrass. Probably call it a couple other things, but
One time, it was actually a few times, I had my pick in my hand when we were doing my exercise, but I wouldn't use it.
yeah. There is a talent to be able to just play with your fingernail or the tip of your finger or back and forth, hybrid picking.
I think I was just playing with this finger or this finger. I was not using my pick.
Right, that's good. That's a talent.
Nice to be versatile.
If you drop your pick, you can just keep going. But no, that Never Going Back Again, it's taken me 5 years to learn how to play it very poorly. Just really, you know what I mean? And I don't think I have the time or the energy to be able to ever play it perfectly. But that's why I started my girls so young.
Yeah, you guys are doing it right, to just keep it fun and be just immersed in music, which it sounds like you guys do when you're jamming out at home. And when they're young, just sponges, and things come easier. Learning comes a little easier when you're young, so you guys are doing it right.
We'll edit it in right here. We'll give you a quick scan of your baller office. But he's got 2 stand-up basses, a piano, a couple guitars. This kind of looks like our living room, but we try to make it so they can go.
Except with acoustic piano, acoustic drum set, an electric drum set, and a double stack.
2 of everything, that's good.
Right, yeah, 2 of everything. Well, we gotta turn it down for the neighbors sometimes.
I actually have 3.
3 what?
Oh, and 5
Yes.
guitars, because 2 for chorus.
2 for chorus, yes.
What if we added a bass?
We're going to. That's next. We've really, one of the reasons Nathan's, we've pressured him into doing our podcast. Thank you. Is that we like what he has set up here. We like what he's doing with the kids. I don't think I've met any of your other students. How old's your oldest student? Maybe not this semester, but how about ever?
I was teaching I'd say 70-year-old man electric guitar. 70, yeah.
70, okay, wow. Had he ever played before?
He had played viola as a child,
Okay.
and he had bought an electric bass kind of on a whim and wanted to get into it.
Oh, you were teaching him bass?
Electric bass.
Okay, cool. But yeah, I wanted to give my daughters these gifts. I think part of the problem is as a child, as a society, as a species, we forget to teach them that this is between, and this is not an opinion. You can Google it or even look at your own life. There's between 0 and 5 is the biggest time that they pick up on things. So I think that you start blocking, whether it's with public school, the poisonous foods that we put into their bodies, maybe even some of the TV. Our TV is very guided. There's specific things they
We
watch.
don't watch a lot of it.
No, we don't watch a lot of it. Watch a lot of YouTube videos.
Funny videos.
Funny videos.
Still YouTube.
Funny videos. But I think things really start to get blocked instead of taking the opportunity to learn. Everyone's waiting, as they should. People are busy. To kindergarten until they start teaching, and in fact, this is to me a fact. You've lost a huge block, a huge time to where they can be introduced to these things, and then by that time they've already had some. I don't know even know what to say. They've already had some things said in to either tell them that they can't do things or they shouldn't or that's not their path. But yeah, it's 70. Wow, I hope my kids are still alive at that point. They're still learning and growing. But for me, between the martial arts and the skateboarding, the music is the most important because I think even with school, I'd like them to go to college, but I think the music can pay their way in. Whether it's a scholarship or gigging outside their university, being weekend warriors, but to pay for their tuition.
Yeah,
Because
it really work out well. Or to teach, to give lessons on the side.
well, that's another thing I like about the conservatory is that can you just turn around if you're qualified or not qualified but good enough? Can you just turn around, right around and teach here?
That's Bethany.
Okay, Bethany, we love Bethany. Friday's her last day? Yeah, we're gonna see if she's doing a podcast before that. She's the one that told us about this place with patios. But Bethany, we went to the church a couple times. Those two were playing piano and violin like it was nothing, and they were reading the music. Like I said, Vanessa, I've been able to teach her how to do a scale or something, but I haven't been able to teach them how to read music, and that's what this place has to offer. Said Marge has been Summer's teacher the last 2 semesters, and Summer is so far on piano that I can't even help her with her homework at home. You know what I mean? With being able to read music. Marge sat down with me one day and we talked for about 10 minutes. She said to do this, with this timing, and I had to come back to her the next week and just say, I'm not there. So it's been nice. It's been nice to take some of the pressure off. But it seems to me that you guys come more with a friend approach than you do a student-teacher approach.
Yeah, I would say in general that is true. Music conservatory.
Vanessa speaks very highly of you.
I'll speak highly of her.
We look forward to coming to class. They said they were kind of bummed out. We told them that it's summertime and we wouldn't be doing it. We talked to some people and we made some things work, so we'll be able to do something this summer. But anyways, we try to keep these short and tight, and that way the editing's easy. You and Vanessa got a song for us?
Yeah. Should we do Alouette or Largo? Or Ruben? You want to do Ruben?
New one?
It's a new one.
Okay, so this is new.
You ready?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Wow.
It's a new one. I don't think we've ever taken that far.
Good job, guys.
Let's do it when we know a little better. You want to do Largo or Alouette?
Show her what she said.
Okay, let's go. Ready?
So,
Do a little intro.
Beautiful. Good job. And you guys have been working on that for what, a week? Yeah. The first one you played.
yeah.
Were you reading music? No.
She taught herself that song reading music.
Good job.
And Largo.
Okay. I can't read music. Alright, so they have 2 questions for you. And Vanessa, are you going to ask a question? You want Summer to? Alright, someone wants you to ask you a question.
If you could play,
Speak loud.
if you could play with any guitar player, alive or dead, who would you play with?
Oh boy, that's a cool question. Any guitar player, alive or dead, I would have to say Hendrix. I mean, that guy did some amazing things. So
You wait till we're about to dive into Little Wing again.
Oh,
Vanessa dove into it, in which she got that thumb stuff down real quick. But
Purple Haze.
yeah, she does Purple Haze pretty well. But
And I think it was Halloween.
she's just
Kind
having
of
problems
hard,
she wants.
but I can't.
Yeah, we started Little Wing a couple months ago, or actually probably about 6 months ago, and we decided to come back to it. Although she was getting it, I thought let's get her some easy stuff first so she can complete stuff. 'Cause Little Wing's one of those ones in 5 years I'm still really bad at, 5 years later.
well, I've never heard anybody play a Hendrix song and say, "Oh, that's as good or better than Hendrix."
Right.
It's just it's not possible.
Maybe I'll send you a link. There's a guy on YouTube, Andy Allendorf. He's with Guitar World. He helps put out the YouTube videos. He does Jimi Hendrix amazing. He does lessons, and then he tours with like a Jimi Hendrix tribute band. One of the few, besides Stevie Ray Vaughan, that I've seen emulate or channel Jimi Hendrix very well. Anyways, Summer, do you have any more questions?
Was guitar your dream?
Was playing guitar? I think I've always thought guitar was cool. I think a lot of instruments are cool. If I could play every instrument, I think that would be great. If I could be Prince and just be a master at any instrument I picked up, that would be awesome.
We haven't gotten to Prince yet. I will start. I know you guys, anyways, but Prince is a master. Yes, he is. What instruments do you play? I mean,
We're
fluently.
talking about the
No, wait.
Prince guitar or what?
Yeah,
The
well,
one who played the Prince guitar.
The artist formerly known as.
yeah. Oh, okay. I think we saw Bruno Mars doing a tribute. He had this symbol.
Yeah.
Anyways, music's so hard to pinpoint one artist. It's paying homage to the next.
Sure.
So what instruments do you play fluently?
Fluently none. But upright bass.
Always a student.
Right, exactly. Upright bass, I would say, is my primary instrument. Guitar, I do a little bit of clawhammer banjo, piano, drums. about it.
Oh, yeah, that's about it. Anyways. Any more questions, guys? And of course, we're brought to you by Hemp Seeds, Family Seed. What are we putting on, guys? Everything. Anyways, that's your pay.
Thank you. Awesome. The mother load size.
Yes, the mother load size. That's the institutional size, industrial, wherever you're at.
Thank you.
Anyways, Nathan, thank you very much. I think you'll like the editing process. I think you'll like the end result. But thank you for indulging us. And it seems to me that even though you might not see our vision yet, you see that we have one.
Oh yeah.
But anyways,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome.
And this podcast is brought to you by Family Seed, Hemp Seeds. Put it on everything! Everything! Make sure you don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below to not miss a video.